Have you ever had one of those huge dreams, something you wanted so bad, that you started looking for shortcuts?
Yeah. Like maybe you saw someone else who seemed to have it all figured out and thought, okay, that's what I need to do.
Exactly. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into a story that's all about that. It's about a young guy, his big ambitions, some pretty unexpected business ideas.
And how friendships and relationships get tangled up in it all. It really ends up being about discovering what actually matters in the end.
Yeah, the source material we're using, it's this great narrative. Looks simple maybe, but it's packed with these little insights, these nuggets about, people, ambition.
And that path to finding out who you really are, which is often, well, not a straight line. It's the kind of story that helps you get those core ideas pretty quickly.
So our mission here is to pull out those key lessons, those moments where you go, aha. It shows how wanting one thing can lead you somewhere totally different, and you learn these huge lessons about honesty and, well, real connection.
It's a really compelling journey, I think you'll find.
Okay, so let's dive in. We start with Brock. He's in high school, about to graduate, and he's got these massive dreams. What's really driving him, and how does his family situation play into it?
Well, right away, you see Brock wants to be super rich. And it seems pretty clearly linked to his dad's story. His father was this successful entrepreneur, apparently, but then went bankrupt.
Ah, okay.
And with his parents divorced, Brock living with his dad, you get the sense he's trying to maybe rebuild something or find a kind of stability his dad lost. It's intense.
So with that drive, what's his first big plan? How's he going to get there? And where does his friend Merp come in?
His plan is very specific, Yale University. But it's not just, like, for the education itself.
Right.
He actually says he wants to join their circle, the rich kids, and basically get infected by their success, their entrepreneurial spirit.
Huh. Interesting approach.
Yeah. And Merp is key here. He's Brock's close friend, described as a really skilled coder, brilliant at making applications. They even work together at a fast food joint, so you see their, let's say, more normal starting point.
Got it. So things then take a bit of a weird turn pretty fast, right? Brock's ambition puts him in this kind of strange spot. Tell us about Russ needing a favor.
Yeah, so Riss, this classmate with the flashy BMW that Brock definitely notices,
Hmm.
he needs someone to take his cousin, Celia, to a school party. He offers to pay, even lend the car.
And Brock jumps at it.
Instantly. Doesn't just offer to drive her, he volunteers to be her fake boyfriend for the night.
Wow, okay.
But what's really interesting is Celia herself. She immediately offers this completely different view compared to Brock's chasing the elite thing.
Mm.
What's her feeling about these big social events?
Oh, she hates it. She's complaining about being dragged to this fancy party, says she can't stand the scene where everyone's just, busy taking photos for social media to show off. All she wants is to just hang out at a warung, like a simple local spot. You see that clash right away.
Definitely. And then at the party itself, someone new catches Brock's eye, and it leads to a bit of clumsiness.
Yeah, he meets Shelby, instantly charmed, the story says. And while he's distracted, he steps right on Celia's foot.
Which leads to Celia giving him some pretty direct advice about Shelby, doesn't it?
Oh.
How does that set things up?
Oh, Celia doesn't hold back. She basically tells him, forget Shelby, calls her a rich socialite, and says she wouldn't want to be with Brock.
Ouch.
Yeah, pretty blunt. She warns him it's better to give up now than get hurt later. So it really sets up this choice for Brock, doesn't it? Like, Shelby represents that glittering prize, and Celia's offering this more, I guess, grounded perspective.
Exactly. A real fork in the road, symbolically speaking.
So after that whole party experience, Brock's still thinking about getting rich, and it seems like a chat with Riss kind of sparks something specific.
That's right. He asked Riz straight up, how did you afford that expensive car? And Riz says he got it through his own efforts.
Which might or might not be true, but Brock.
Brock hears that, and the narrative says it motivated Brock immediately. It fuels his own entrepreneurial drive.
And this leads him to a pretty unique business idea. What does he decide to start, and how is Merp absolutely essential to this?
He comes up with the idea for a boyfriend rental service.
Seriously?
Yeah. And Merp, the tech whiz friend, is the one who makes it happen. He builds the app, makes it work seamlessly, like ordering food.
Huh?
And he even includes this clever savings tracker so Brock can see how close he's getting to his Yale tuition goal.
Wow.
And importantly, Merp also shared the app on social media, giving it that initial boost.
Okay, so let's pick it up there. The business actually takes off, right? The story says week after week, more and more girls renting Brock's services. He's making money, moving towards Yale.
Seems like the plan is working, on the surface at least.
But success often comes with complications, especially for friendships. How does this affect things with Merp?
Yeah, this is a key moment. Merp confronts Brock. He feels like Brock's gotten sambong, arrogant since the business blew up. He points out, look, we see each other at school every day, but you've only now talked to Merp. It really suggests Brock's ambition might be starting to sort of isolate him.
And how does Brock react?
He seems to feel bad about it. He promises Merp he'll make it up to him, treat him to a day out at a Time Zone arcade.
Okay, trying to patch things up. But then he gets pulled back into Celia's world again, another fake boyfriend situation.
Exactly.
Yes.
Celia needs him for another party. This time it's Shelby's party.
Ah, convenient for Brock.
Very. Celia wants to make this other guy, Franklin, jealous. And Brock agrees, mainly because, well, he wants to see Shelby again. Clear motives on both sides.
So how does that play out at the party? Do they work together? And what happens with Brock's feelings?
They do team up. Celia, with Brock's okay, tells Shelby that Brock's some rich kid from an elite housing complex to get Shelby interested.
Playing the part.
Right. And Brock helps Celia talk to Franklin. But then Franklin and Celia actually hit it off. They find shared hobbies, start talking intensely, basically ignoring Brock.
Ooh, how does Brock feel about that?
He feels a pang of jealousy, which is interesting, right? Considering he's supposedly all about Shelby.
Yeah, a little crack in the plan.
And then Shelby does come over, showing interest now that she thinks he's rich. So it's all quite messy.
Meanwhile, the Yale goal is still front and center, and Celia actually helps him with that, despite everything.
She does. She offers to set up a meeting for him with the dean of Yale, says her dad knows the dean well.
Wow, that's huge. A direct connection.
It's a massive potential shortcut. But this leads to a revealing moment in the interview itself. What tactic does Brock use with the dean?
This is where his willingness to bend the truth really shows. He finds out the dean's hobby is beekeeping.
Okay.
So Brock goes into the interview and pretends he has a small bee farm himself.
Oh, wow. He really doubles down.
Totally. And it works, at least initially. The dean, who was maybe a bit formal, suddenly gets really friendly, starts talking at length about bees. Brock even promises to bring him the best honey from his bee farm if he gets in.
Yikes. That's quite a lie to maintain. It
Yeah.
really shows how far he's willing to go, how much the goal justifies the means for him at this point.
So stepping back a bit, what's the bigger picture here? Right after that interview, there's a huge revelation about Riss, the guy with the BMW who first motivated Brock.
Yes, this is a critical moment. Celia drops a bombshell on Brock. Riss isn't some self-made entrepreneur.
No.
No, his fancy BMW. It was a gift from his mother's affair.
Whoa. Okay, that changes everything.
Completely pulls the rug out from under Brock's initial motivation, the guy he was trying to emulate. It was all built on a lie, or at least not the kind of success Brock imagined.
And Celia gives him some advice then, too, right? Something really important.
She does. It's quite profound, actually. She tells him, basically, instead of being jealous and following others, it's better to be ourselves. It really is. It's a direct challenge to that whole fake it till you make it idea Brock was running with. She's saying, find your own way.
But back in his day-to-day life, things are still messy. He blows off Merp again.
Afraid so. He has to cancel that Time Zone outing he promised because he gets a rental order. Merp is, understandably, disappointed. The friendship is really straining.
And Celia has her own letdown with Franklin, the guy from the party.
Yeah, they go on a date, but she finds herself getting more and more bored. Apparently, Franklin just only talks about himself and never asks about her.
Doesn't sound like much of a connection. Lack of authenticity seems to be a theme all around here.
It really does. Which makes Brock's next move even more dramatic. He decides they need to stage a big fake breakup at Shelby's birthday party.
A fake breakup? Why? What's the plan?
His logic, flawed as it might be, is that this will clear the way. Franklin can be with Celia, and he can finally be with Shelby. So he cooks up this scene where he pretends to be shocked and publicly accuses Celia of cheating.
Oh no, how does that go?
About as well as you'd expect. His acting is apparently too exaggerated. It's just over the top. Celia isn't having it. She slaps him and storms out. Very public, very messy.
Yikes. So the plan backfired spectacularly. But how does Shelby react to all this drama, seeing Brock seemingly heartbroken?
Interestingly, Shelby comforts him. She seems drawn to this perceived vulnerability. And when Brock, seizing the moment, asks her to be his girlfriend, she actually says yes.
So, despite the disaster, he kind of got what he wanted with Shelby.
In a way, yes. It seems his manipulation, even when clumsy, worked on Shelby, at least for now. But the consequences are definitely piling up elsewhere.
Right, like with Merp the next day at school.
Merp completely ignores him. The silence speaks volumes. That friendship is really on the rocks.
Okay, so Brock's had this new relationship, but his business continues, and then he has this encounter with an older customer who gives him some unusual advice.
Yeah, this is a lovely little moment. An elderly lady he's providing a service for shares this analogy about relationships.
What does she say?
She told him, if talking to someone feels like listening to a boring old radio, well, that means you don't like them. Plain and simple.
Okay.
But, she says, if talking to them is like listening to a beautiful orchestra concert,
Then you're in love.
then you are definitely in love. It's such a simple but profound way to think about genuine connection, isn't it? Completely different from Brock's transactional view so far.
Absolutely. And does this advice resonate? Does it affect how he sees his new relationship with Shelby?
Well, the cracks start to show pretty quickly. Shelby starts laying out her very detailed, very predictable life plans.
And Brock's reaction?
He finds it boring, very boring. Remember, despite his lies to get into Yale, deep down he still has that desire to struggle and build something himself. Their visions for the future just don't align.
The orchestra's definitely not playing.
Not for him, no.
Yeah.
And then comes the inevitable moment when the truth about his business and his real financial situation finally comes out.
How does it happen?
At another party hosted by Shelby, one of her friends actually recognizes Brock. She'd hired him before.
Oh, busted.
Totally busted. He's cornered, and he finally confesses everything. The rental business, the lies about being rich, admits his family is actually poor.
And Shelby's reaction?
She's shocked.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunned, and she immediately breaks up with him. The whole facade just crumbles.
Wow. So rock bottom, basically.
Yeah.
What does he do then?
He does something he hasn't done before in the entire story. He goes home, and he tells his father everything.
The whole truth.
The whole truth. The app, Yale, the lies, Merp, Celia, Shelby, everything. It's the first time he's truly vulnerable and honest with him.
That's a huge step. How does his father respond? Does he get angry?
No, actually, quite the opposite. His father listens, and then he expresses pride. He tells Brock he has grown up.
Really?
Yeah. It's not about condoning the mistakes, I think, but recognizing the act of confession, of facing the truth as growth. And then he gives him some simple, solid advice.
What's the advice?
Just to solve problems one by one and to focus on what's most important. It's practical, supportive, exactly what Brock needs to hear, probably. It sets him on a path towards actually fixing things.
Okay, so armed with his dad's advice, what's the first step Brock takes to make amends?
He goes straight to Merp, tries talking to him again at school. And this time, Merp agrees to listen.
That's progress.
Big progress. Brock genuinely apologizes. Says he was unconsciously arrogant. And you see, Merp is touched by the sincerity. He forgives him.
That's huge. Repairing that bridge.
Absolutely. It's the first concrete step back towards integrity. And then he runs into Riss again, the BMW guy.
How does that go now that Brock knows the truth?
It shows how much Brock has changed. Riss offers to lend him the BMW again, maybe thinking Brock is still impressed by it.
Brock.
Brock just calmly turns him down. And he says something like Riss's problem is heavier, clearly referencing the whole situation with his mother's affair.
Wow.
Yeah. And Riss immediately falls silent. Brock isn't playing those games anymore. He's not impressed by the surface stuff.
He's definitely shifted priorities. So the last big piece is Celia, right? How does he approach her after that disastrous fake breakup?
He finds her and apologizes, specifically for his excessive words, his awful acting during that scene.
Good.
But then he shares what he's learned. He says, something special must start with honesty. And he realizes that when we lie, we're not really lying to others.
We're lying to ourselves.
Exactly. We are lying to ourselves. It's a massive realization for him. Real growth.
So what's the ultimate understanding he comes to about something special? And how does he finally tell Celia how he truly feels?
He realizes that the something special he was chasing, maybe he was close all along.
Meaning Celia.
It seems so. He gives her a letter, and in it he just pours out his feelings. He praises her for her simplicity, how genuine she is despite her family's wealth, contrasts her with girls just trying to look good for social media.
And does he mention the orchestra?
He does. He explicitly connects back to the old lady's advice. He tells Celia that talking to her feels like listening to that beautiful orchestra concert.
Oh, that's really sweet.
It is. And he says he hopes she feels the same. It's vulnerable, it's honest, no games.
So how does it all resolve? Does Celia respond?
Well, first, Brock gets another notification from his rental app. An
Mm,
order comes in. He rejects it. He's done with that life. But then, almost immediately, another notification pops up. This one just says, open the door.
okay.
He opens the door, and it's Celia.
No way.
Yes. And she tells him she wants to order his services.
Oh.
But this time, not a fake boyfriend, but a real boyfriend.
Oh.
And she finishes with his own words perfectly. Because something special must start with honesty.
That's fantastic. What a perfect ending. It really brings everything
It
together.
really does. That journey from chasing external validation,
Yeah.
getting lost in lies, and then finally finding authenticity and real connection.
Hmm.
It's powerful. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It really makes you pause and consider, how much of what we chase, success, happiness, whatever, is truly for ourselves versus just trying to impress others or fit some mold.
Right. So the thought maybe to leave everyone with is, what would you pursue? What path would you take if you absolutely knew you couldn't fake it till you make it? If you had to be completely honest from the start?
That's a deep one, something to definitely mull over.